Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonzal Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonzal Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonzal Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, folks. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Hello, Rico. Program. We always forget it on Tailgate Tuesdays.
Darn Chick-fil-A.
That's actually my fault because I'm running the board from 1 to 2, so I apologize on that.
It happens.
As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those are open for you all hour long, as well as on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream where Rico is waving. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Check us out there. We'll throw your comment up on the screen. You can interact with the show that way as well. We already have a couple texts at the beginning here, but let me run through what we're going to do today on Tuesday's episode. We're going to talk about Husker basketball because they have obviously the exhibition game tomorrow night. Fred Hoiberg spoke to the media yesterday, said one interesting thing. Well, he said a couple interesting things. One really stuck out to me after hearing Matt Abdelmassi on Old School yesterday with DP. So we're going to talk about that, talk about how this coaching staff it feels like they are sending the same message. And I actually have proof that they are. So we'll talk about that a little bit and what that means going forward for Nebraska basketball. We'll look at the schedule a little bit, talk about expectations. I don't like that. I know a lot of other people are talking about expectations, but looking at the schedule and their first 7 games, there's no reason Nebraska should not start 7-0 if they feel
6-1 at the worst.
Yeah. If we all are feeling confident for a good reason, because we kind of have an idea of what this team's going to look like in terms of, the skill set of the players. We don't know what the lineups are going to look like. Fred even admitted that yesterday, that he doesn't know the top 5. They're deciding that today after practice. So we'll find out tomorrow.
The media guide had a starting 5.
They did. However, during the season, it could change. So
it'll definitely change.
It'll absolutely change. And so they're okay with that and they're embracing that, which is really, really good. At 2:30, we will actually be joined by Bob Ludwig, the Peru State head coach. He's going to join us for about 10 minutes or so, talk about the Bobcat program, talk about how cool of an opportunity it is for his guys. 10 of them are from the state of Nebraska. So how cool it is for those guys that play at the NAIA level to be able to play at a place like Pinnacle Bank Arena. They have a couple exhibitions coming up against Division I opponents. So we'll dive into that. And then we'll talk about their program a little bit as well. And then the World Series starts tonight. Braves, Astros.
Don't care.
You say you don't care.
There's a more important game going on tonight.
The Knicks and 76ers.
The Knicks are playing the 76ers
Before
tonight.
you talk about the Knicks, I know you saw my tweet yesterday because you liked it.
Go ahead.
The Bulls are 4-0 for the first time since 96, baby. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 26 last night. Zach LaVine had 22.
Congratulations.
Chicago's 4-0 with a big game against your New York Knicks on Thursday.
Yep. The Knicks play the 76ers tonight on TNT, so everybody that's not watching the World Series can tune into TNT and watch the Knicks hopefully take down the 76ers for their first win against Philadelphia since April 12th, 2017. Can anybody guess the lineup or anybody that was on the team outside of Carmelo Anthony that was on that team in 2017 that beat the Sixers?
So we talked about that. We talked about this
gave you
for
a little
about
bit.
5 seconds before the show came on. It was Ron Baker from Wichita State.
Yep.
Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
Was Joakim Noah on that team?
He was. He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play. The former Bull there. Taj Gibson?
Nope.
He was not there.
Nope.
It
was later on.
Give me another one here.
A former Laker 3-point specialist with a very cool last name.
Ooh.
Long hair. He is Italian. Italian? I
Italian.
believe he is. Actually, no, he's not Italian.
Wait, did
I don't know what he is.
Porzingis play?
Nope, Porzingis was
Okay.
not on this team in 2017.
What did Trey Burke play?
Trey Burke was not on this team in 2017. You're not going to get anybody else on this team. I can almost guarantee it. There's a Spanish center, very not well-known Spanish center.
Willie Hernan Gomez?
Yep.
Okay. Was it that Kuzminakis? Kuzminkas.
Mindaugas Kuzminkas.
Okay.
I love him.
So we have point guard in Ron Baker.
Kuzminkas wasn't starting, and Willie was starting, though. So you have Ron Baker was the starting point guard. Melo was the starting small forward. Willie was the starting center.
Did Jarrett Jack play for them?
Jarrett Jack did not play for this team. There's a Frenchman.
Oh, what did Tim Hardaway?
Nope. He was already traded away by this time.
Oh, man.
Or no, he wasn't on the team yet. They didn't get him yet.
Okay.
One of the Holiday brothers.
Ooh. It would have been Drew?
No, Drew was not. No, it was Justin Holiday. I'm just going to give you the names. You're not going to get any of these.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Ron Baker, Maurice Endure, Carmelo Anthony, Courtney Lee, Willie Hernan Gomez were the starters. Marshall Plumlee, Chasen Randall, Sasha Vujicic, Justin Holiday, Mindaugas Kuzminskis, Kyle O'Quinn, and Joakim Noah were the bench players. And the leading scorer for the team that night was Justin Holiday with 20.
And that was the last time that they beat
the 76ers. That was the last time they beat the 76ers was that lineup.
Yikes.
And they won 114 to 113.
And they are 2-1, correct, right now?
Yep, both teams are 2-1.
That's crazy. I'm glad. Hey, I actually hope that it's a good game. Is Thursday's game between the Bulls and Knicks on national television?
Probably not. They didn't
or
expect,
do we need to?
They didn't really expect either team to be good.
Do we
so
need
I doubt
to get NBA League Pass?
I'm not getting League Pass. I'm just going to pay attention to it on
the ESPN app.
The ESPN app, which is what I know.
Just
what I do for games that aren't on television.
The whole time with the Magic, it was just watching Cole Anthony's drain threes.
Yeah, it was very annoying. No, it is not on national television.
Okay. What a shame.
Thursday, 7 p.m.
I do miss when I had cable television. I do miss having WGN because they broadcasted every single Cubs game, and they broadcasted every single Cubs game and every single Chicago Bulls game. So what a shame. All right, let's move on to Nebraska basketball because
different basketball.
We do have we have to make this first segment a little shorter on Tuesdays. So let's go ahead and dive right in. About the whole expectation thing. So they seem to be a big storyline heading into the season. Year 3, everything, all that's going on. Obviously not the first most ideal 2 years to begin with Fred Hoiberg and company.
Far from ideal.
But before we get rolling on what we kind of expect or what we will constitute as a successful season, because Rico and I will dive into that here shortly. But before we get rolling on this, here's what Fred Hoiberg had to say yesterday when he talked to the media on expectations going into this season.
Well, sure, it's very important. I think people know what we came into, and there was going to be some growing pains in certainly that first year. Second year, I was proud of how we grew through very difficult times, which a lot of teams experienced. Us maybe as much as anybody in the country, but we kept battling. This year is important. Going into year 3, I know that we have expectations, which you want. You want expectations in this business. We're hopefully we talk to our guys every day about it and, going out there and doing the right things, playing the right way, and hopefully putting ourselves in a position to do something that's never been done here with Nebraska basketball. So yeah, you want those expectations, you want that pressure. That's what this job's all about.
Now, take what you just heard there and here yesterday on Old School, right at 4 o'clock with DP, Matt Abdelmassi, Husker basketball assistant, spoke about expectations and why Nebraska is such a fantastic place. And it was such an appealing place back in 2019 when Fred and Matt were kind of deciding where they wanted to go. Fred obviously at the top, but Matt didn't. I mean, Matt admitted that he was heavily involved in the decision as well. And so here's what Matt said yesterday on Old School regarding kind of the same subject.
A little bit of a longer clip. Just stick with us.
Do you know what we took over 28 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
It was arguably the worst inherited roster in college basketball history.
There was one player.
And the second worst job inherited in college basketball history was the school I just came from, my alma mater.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to look it up, it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
There is a process that comes with that. And I'm not sure people understand the difficulty of rebuilding in the best conference in the country. There's 13 other programs that are not rebuilding. They're reloading every year. We're rebuilding. And for us to have even a sliver of expectations attached to us in year 3, one is a borderline miracle, and 2 speaks volume. We know what we're doing, and because I think you know this better than anyone because you have a more inside look than most people, we definitely have expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what makes us who we are. We didn't come to Nebraska just to chill. We came to Nebraska to do something that's never been done before.
So with those 2 clips in mind, we're going to play a shorter clip from each of those that I kind of cut up and made it into a snippet, a smaller clip. But I want to tell you and point out the similarities in the message that this staff is sending to Husker Nation, to their players. So we're going to have Fred Hoiberg from a snippet from his clip and a snippet from Matt's clip that was all happened yesterday. And I want you guys to recognize the similarities on the message that they're sending to Husker Nation. So go ahead, Rico.
Going into year 3, I know that we have expectations, which you want. You want expectations in this business. Hopefully we talk to our guys every day about it and, going out there and doing the right things, playing the right way, and hopefully putting ourselves in a position to do something that's never been done.
We definitely have expectations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes us who we are. We didn't come to Nebraska just to chill. We came to Nebraska to do something that's never been done before.
We came to Nebraska to do something that's never been done before, something that both guys said. And it rings throughout that whole program. Shannon Lum said the same thing to DP earlier this year when she came on the show before she went to Dallas. And she was here
before she moved up to the NBA.
She was here for less than a month and a half or a month and a half or something like that.
And she was already indoctrinated into the culture of, we're trying to do something that's never been done here. We want to do what Nebraska basketball has yet to do in their entire program's history. And that is make an NCAA tournament, win a game, and go farther than that.
And here's the interesting part. This is where I can turn it over to you guys. 464-5685. What constitutes a successful season for you in your eyes? What constitutes a successful season? And here's an interesting part that I want to point out. Hearing those 2 or 3 clips, more importantly, the last one where it showed how, you could audibly hear how they were on the same page without even being asked the same question. It still worked back to that idea of they want to change the idea and the perception, both locally and nationally, about Nebraska basketball. We talk about it with the baseball staff, with Lance Harvell and Will Bolt, and how they sound the same.
Literally.
They are on the same page with whether it's goals. They're on the same page with how they approach the day-to-day grind of building their baseball program.
Mm-hmm.
And they found success as a result. We talk about it with the Husker volleyball program. And I don't need to tell you guys this, how much success they have, but we get to talk to Jalen Reyes quite often, and he and Tyler Hildebrand and John Cook, they're all on the same page. They're speaking the same message to the volleyball team, the program.
You ask the players a question, they all have the same,
Bingo.
Not the same answer, but they all echo the same
It's
sentiment.
the same idea.
They all echo the same sentiment and everything that's been talked about in the halls of the volleyball program, the halls of the basketball program. It just rings true. It all goes together, and every player, every coach, every staff member knows the message and what their teams are trying to accomplish and how they want to go about accomplishing those goals.
Yeah, and that's where I then look at this Husker basketball program, and it's a program that has not found much success. We all know that. They, however, are on the same page, and we get to talk to CJ Wilcher and Kobe Webster at least once a week. You guys get to hear directly from them once a week here on the Ticket, on their show, The Truth.
The truth shall set you free.
You got to hear from Derek Walker on Saturday at the Upside Bar and Lounge.
We've heard from Wilhelm Breidenbach a couple of times.
And it's all the same message. They're all embracing this idea of coming to Nebraska to do something that hasn't been done before. You heard it from Bryce McGowan's. That's a big reason on why when you're talking about recruiting, especially at college basketball, when it takes just one or two or three guys to really shift the idea of a program and how they really flip a program from being bad to being competitive, even at the highest level. Yes, you have to worry about a coaching staff being on the same page and how you want to game plan, and you have to have a couple things fall your way throughout the course of the season.
With said player.
Yes, you have to have a couple things fall your way throughout the course of the season, but that's a big reason why some guys go to schools, is they want to be the guy. However, at Nebraska, it's obvious, and it's encouraging heading into a game against Peru State, Colorado on Sunday, and then you start Western Illinois on November 9th. That's when it starts. And however, Fred talked about it yesterday a little bit, is he remembers his first year. They came out in their first exhibition and they didn't make a basket in the first 6 minutes, which, if you know anything about Fred Hoiberg's type of offense, that's not a characteristic of it.
That's not something that should ever happen in a Fred Hoiberg offense. The scoring droughts that have plagued the Nebraska basketball program for multiple coaches are something that a Fred Hoiberg offense should not really have to experience at all, ever. With the type of shots that they try to create, with the speed at which they go, with how they attack off of rebounds, off of missed shots, off of made shots even, a scoring drought should not be something that they experience.
And like I said, and this we'll wrap it up here in a couple minutes. We'll take a peek at the schedule looking ahead. This is why I personally am excited and interested in the upcoming season to the extent that I am. Because when we talk about the baseball, the volleyball, and there's other programs at Nebraska that are like this. I'm not trying to dog any other programs, but this is, there's transparency. We get to hear and listen to how they approach the day-to-day work. People, DP gets to watch practice. Tom got to watch practice. There's people.
Tom was gushing about watching practice, the basketball practice today.
There's a lot to be excited about. And when we talk about those other programs that already have found success, something that they have in common, whether it's baseball, volleyball, or now even basketball, but however, we're yet to see success from Nebraska basketball, is that the coaching staff, the people that are put in charge to make decisions and make the call, are unified, and that they're sending the same message, a consistent message of success, and they're instilling that into their program. And I guess that's a time to look back, and that's one of the first places you can look at a program and see if they're not having success, is you can look and say, all right, is their coaching staff unified?
How many different messages are these players being sent?
Yeah.
There are coaching staffs around the country where you see players saying one thing, coaches saying another, other coaches saying one thing, and it just seems like the message has been muddled along the way, and it's like a game of telephone where one person hears one thing, another person hears another. But with this coaching staff currently and a bunch of the other sports staffs, athletic staffs here at Nebraska, you've noticed a trend of one message throughout the entire program. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what it's going to take to accomplish it. And it just takes working towards that goal all together as one unit to make it happen.
Yeah. And so that's a big reason, one of the many reasons that I'm pumped up to watch Nebraska, because number one, we're getting to know the players, not as players, but as people. Number two, which we've been able to do. I don't want you guys to think I'm dogging other programs. We've been able to do that with baseball. We've been able to do that with volleyball. We've been able to do that with
Women's
football,
basketball.
with women's basketball. Michael Caton's played a big part in that. It's not just men's basketball, but I'm saying that we're able to now learn about athletes as people, which makes it much easier to cheer for them.
Not just athletes on the court or athletes in a recording of an interview post game, pre-game, during the game, whatever. You're getting to know them more outside of the University of Nebraska, and more of the person that they are, as opposed to the student athlete that they are.
However, when we do talk about their program, their team that they're a member of, they're all hearing the same message. On the men's basketball team I'm talking about, they're hearing the same message. And in recent years, both here at Nebraska and not at Nebraska, when a coaching staff is unified and sending the same message to their players, that usually results in success, which gives you some excitement to head into the season with, and stuff like that. All right, let's move on to the schedule here. We got about a minute and a half left in this segment. So like I said earlier, Bob Ludwig is going to be joining us. He's the Peru State head coach. Before they head into Pinnacle Bank Arena tomorrow, I'm interested to hear about his program. They returned a couple honorable mention All-Americans. They had a lot of success. They made the national championship in 2018, 2019. So a couple years ago, obviously COVID played a part in their season last year. So they struggled last year. But I'm curious to see what he and his staff, they have a newer addition for assistant coach. I'm curious to see what his message is to the guys going into tomorrow night, where obviously they're an underdog. They're not expected to win. It's probably going to be decided by a wide margin. As a Husker fan, you hope it's decided by a wide margin. However, there's still some value that a team like Peru State can learn from this. And also, they're going to have they're going to have to play Colorado State down the road here in a couple weeks on the road. And what can his guys learn from those two games? And it's interesting because they play obviously an exhibition against Nebraska Wednesday night, but they start their regular season the next night against Spurgeon College at home. And so it's interesting to see how Coach Ludwig is going to handle minutes, handle guys how many are playing, and all that good stuff. So Nebraska, Peru State tomorrow night, 6 p.m., and then Nebraska obviously has Colorado on Sunday for that charity exhibition game as well. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. When we come back, Coach Ludwig of Peru State up next on the Happy Hour.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Angry about a recent Nebraska football loss? Go throw axes at Kraft Axe Throwing. Optimistic about the upcoming Nebraska football game? Go sign up for free football tickets at Kraft Axe Throwing. Bring some friends, reserve a bay for an hour or more, release anger at the targets by hucking an axe at it, and walk away feeling better about yourselves and the football season just in time to enter for a chance to win a free pair of tickets to the next home game as you walk out the door. Reserve your lane online at craftaxethrowing.com or call 402-802-9696. Craft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. A lot of questions about the health. Quarterback Adrian Martinez, head coach Scott Frost addressed his quarterback status to start this week's press conference.
He's good. He's going to be 100%. He's been dealing with quite a bit of stuff and fighting through stuff, and he's a warrior for doing it. He'll be full go.
Martinez said he hopes that he'll be back to his old self this week in Lincoln.
I definitely wasn't 100%, but you rarely are in football, right? So there's no excuse to not play at the level that I'm accustomed to playing and want to play at. I did feel like I wasn't as dynamic as a runner going into that game, but still was able to do the things I wanted to do. If I felt like I couldn't, I wouldn't have played. There's no excuse there. And additionally, the bye week was very helpful, I think, for everyone, not only physically, but mentally. Maybe take a little bit of a break and get ready for this last 4 weeks.
Martinez also said on Monday he won't make any decisions about his future after 2021 until the season is over. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. Playoffs are only a few days away for high school football as teams played their last regular season games last week. On Thursday, Lincoln Southwest had a big win over Omaha Central, 24-20. Creighton Prep only gave up one touchdown against Lincoln East to win, 52-7. Elkhorn South beat Lincoln Southeast, 21-10. Lincoln Pius lost to Fremont, 42-41 in overtime. Lincoln Northeast lost to Millard West, 38-7. Outside of Class A, Waverly beat Norris in a tight contest that went into 3 overtimes, 52-49. Lincoln Christian fell to Nebraska City, 27-26. Lincoln Lutheran won over Wilbur Clatonia, 10-7. In Kearney on Friday, the cross-country championship took place. Abe Hendricks from Elkhorn South had the fastest time in all Class boys. He beat Carson Naker from Harrington, who came in second. Hendricks finished with a time of 15 minutes and 18 seconds. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. As always, 402-464-5685. Feel free to chime into the show as well through those two avenues. In addition to the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, you can interact with the show that way as well. We are now joined on the Honda of Lincoln hotline by Peru State head men's basketball coach Bob Ludwig. Coach, how are you doing today?
Really good, Nick. Really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for replying back so quick, short notice last night and everything like that. There are 10 guys. We'll dive right into it. There are 10 guys on your roster that are from Nebraska. How cool of an opportunity is it for them to be able to come and play on a bigger stage that is Pinnacle Bank Arena?
Really cool. Obviously it's Nebraska's opener. It's the first game, to my knowledge, where they've had a crowd present in quite some time. Obviously small college basketball players don't get that opportunity in terms of playing in front of a large crowd on a regular basis. So great opportunity for us to get better going against a really talented Power 5 opponent, and even better opportunity for those local kids.
What is the general message for you guys going into tomorrow night? Do you guys have any like mantra or slogan that you're going with this season? Because I know you guys start your actual season the following night as well.
Yeah, it's unique that way. We were kind of forced to play the game when it was available on their end to be played. But it's kind of a scrimmage for us as much as it's attended. We just want to get better from it. We're still really sifting through a 12 to 13 man rotation right now, trying to figure out who we're going to start in games down the line, and so it's just an opportunity to carry over what we're doing in practice. And, I think if the guys approach it in a way that, do what we do and what we work on and go out there and try to get that done, as opposed to, letting your nerves and the lights get to you, then I think we can get a lot accomplished.
Hey, Coach Ludwig, I'm not trying to get too much out of you, but what exactly are you going to do with your season starting the following day, with the minutes for your players? How exactly are you going to go about, getting people in the game, but making sure that you're still going to have fresh legs or fresh enough legs for your regular season to start?
Sure. I mean, we're going to play everybody. We're going to start two fairly different lineups in the first and second half. You certainly want to do all you can to be competitive, but at the end of the day, with us having a true, season opener the next night and an actual countable game, as you mentioned on Thursday, we want to make sure that not just all of our local guys, but all of our guys who are, suiting up on our varsity roster get an opportunity to play in that environment and be fresh the next day.
We're talking to Peru State head coach Bob Ludwig before they travel to Lincoln here and play an exhibition against Nebraska. Coach, on top of Nebraska, you guys play a second Division I opponent in an exhibition game down the road against Colorado State. With the opportunity to play two high Division I programs, what kind of lesson and what can your guys learn from playing that sort of competition?
Oh, I think a lot. If you're able to translate anything you're doing in practice to that level of a competition, then I think that's a good sign for your team getting better. It's also hopefully a little bit of a recruiting tool. Not every year, but most years we've tried to schedule some Division I competition. This Nebraska game, as you mentioned, is particularly cool for these local guys. My old college roommate, Brian Cooley, he's a Nebraska Wesleyan grad, kind of hooked us up. He's on staff out there at Colorado State, and we want to continue to schedule those games because not only can they get you better, they're also fundraising opportunities, and that you get a nice check with them. But again, can hopefully help us continue to attract high character student athletes who can also play.
Yeah, let's now dive into your program a little more in depth. This season's team, you guys bring back 10 guys from last season. How much does that help you and your staff when in terms of continuing to build your program, especially after last season, which was a very unconventional type of year?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We brought in a lot of newcomers as well, but I think part of the reason that they've been able to hit the ground running and really mix in well with our returners is they've just had a phenomenal example set in terms of how we do things. Our returners have great work ethic, really high character young men, just awesome guys from awesome programs, high school programs, and awesome families. And so that's really helped our new guys have a by example type of leadership. And boy, they've hit the ground running pretty well. They gel well together on the court and off. And again, I really attribute that to guys like Skyler Wilson, Isaac Simpson, Ty Griggs, Henry Tanksley. Those guys have really, really helped us to get going in a hurry.
Let's take a moment and talk about one of those guys, Henry Tanksley. For those of our listeners that don't know, averaged 17.5 last season, was a 2019-2020 honorable mention All-American. What kind of player is Henry Tanksley? What can Husker fans kind of expect to see from a couple of those guys tomorrow? And how much does he specifically mean to the success of your team?
Henry is ultra important to our success. I think he's in as good a shape physically as he's ever been. Had a monster summer in the weight room and working on his game. We're going to need him to be a little bit more efficient. I think last year, because we were so young, there was so much attention on him. We also had some injuries at the point guard spot that forced him to have to handle the ball. So there was just a ton of pressure on him. Now with the added depth and added shooting, I think he can play more, hopefully, of his game, get more one-on-one opportunities and less early help. Really excited about both our Lincoln guys. Obviously, Henry Tanksley's been huge for us, but Ajante Hogan, as a true freshman, he's Lincoln Southeast career leading scorer. He's a young man we thought may need a little bit more time to get acquainted. Very talented, but boy, he just continues to step up his work ethic and attention to detail. And he's a guy that maybe as we looked back, in August, we thought would have a little bit more of a learning curve, but he's going to play. He's going to play a lot tomorrow at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and if he continues to practice this way, he's going to play a nice role for our team.
Good deal. Husker or Lincoln High School basketball fans will be excited to hear that one because that's been kind of a storyline going into this week is that Ajante Hogan's coming back to Lincoln.
We love Ajante Hogan.
Where a lot of people saw him excel at Lincoln Southeast last year, becoming the career leading scorer. Couple more here before we let you go. We're talking to Coach Bob Ludwig of Peru State men's basketball. Last season was obviously a weird one with the whole pandemic going on, and you guys struggled a little bit. However, in 2018, you guys made the national championship game. 2019, you had some success as well. How do you guys get back to that level of success this season? What's a couple of the things that you guys really need to do on both sides of the basketball, offensively and defensively, to get you guys back in that term of or type of success, if that makes sense?
I think ball security and improvement of our team defense. We turned it over as much as anybody in the league last year. I think part of that, again, was our point guard injuries and also just being young. I think we're more than capable of doing that. We're a very skilled team. I feel like this team's got a larger commitment to the defensive end. So, our out-of-conference schedule in terms of these first, 5 to 8 games is really difficult. We play 6 opponents in the non-conference, or 4 different opponents 6 times because we played 2 of them twice that went, 2 national tournaments last year. And we think that'll really battle test us and get us ready for conference play. But we're pretty confident that we're back just from a talent buy-in and team chemistry standpoint to being, where our first 2 teams were here. Where, first 3 years we went to 2 national tournaments, and then in the third year we were 1 game away. We're very hopeful we'll be back on that path, and obviously time will tell, and the non-conference again will be difficult. But we really like our team, through October here, and got a lot of new guys and things to figure out. So we're not obviously going to be playing our best in October, but really excited to continue the journey with this group, no doubt.
Last one here before we let you go, Coach Ludwig of Peru State men's basketball with us here on the Happy Hour. One last one. You made 2 additions to your staff this year, both in an assistant coach and as a graduate assistant. What have those 2 guys brought to your program through just a couple months?
Yeah, well, I mean, Andy McMahon was our graduate assistant last year. We moved him into a full-time role. He's been phenomenal, both on doing some good things on the recruiting front, and really he is kind of a Division I level operations guy, really manages a lot of the things from the day-to-day in our program. Dominique Wright, the new GA, he's older than your typical GA. He's kind of come back to get his graduate degree. He's got a couple years of college basketball coaching experience at Southwestern Community College. He's been fantastic. He heads up our JV team and then does a lot for our varsity. But also another guy who's made a huge impact is Mark Rabeck. Coach Rabeck's got 30 plus years of high school head coaching experience and kind of retired from that teaching coaching side on high school and is driving down every day, as a guy who's on a part-time stipend, but he's putting in, full-time type work. And he's been phenomenal for me, great for our guys, just brings a ton of experience and knowledge, both for me and for the players. And so I think Mark Rabeck has and is going to continue to have a huge impact on our program.
Good stuff. Coach, we appreciate the time. We kept it short enough for you because I know you got a busy and exciting couple days around that Peru State men's basketball program here in the next 3 days or so with the exhibition and then obviously the regular season opener at home. So appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us. It was good stuff as always. We'll talk to you down the road. Enjoy tomorrow night in Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Will do. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Nick. Take care.
That is head coach of Peru State men's basketball, Bob Ludwig, taking the time and talking a little bit about the Bobcat program. They're going to have a party at Embassy Suites tomorrow for some alumni and some fans to go hang out down there before the exhibition. But it was just interesting to hear and see how they're approaching tomorrow night's exhibition with their regular season opener
the very next day
on Thursday.
It's good to hear that he said, everybody's going to play, everybody's going to get some minutes, which will, spread it apart so that, nobody's playing too much. So the following day you'll have some fresh legs, but it's going to be great to have some of the former Lincoln High School or Omaha High School guys, playing in Pinnacle Bank Arena. I don't know how many of them, but I'm sure a few of them played in some state tournament games inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, so it won't be that big of a surprise to them, but the crowd might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun and exciting night. PBA will definitely be juiced up, ready to rock and roll tomorrow night. All right, let's take our final time out. When we come back, we'll wrap up Tuesday's show and get you ready for One-on-One with DP next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Is your furnace or heat pump ready for winter? Call Bryant to schedule your home heating check. Comfortable, safe, efficient. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating, 467-1111.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds.
Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to the ticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or received federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
One-on-one with DP.
Ted Carter at University of Nebraska.
First of all, I am just like you. When you hurt, I hurt. I'm watching the same games, whether I'm on the sidelines in the stadium or watching it on TV. It's certainly frustrating after a weekend like this weekend. But I'm a glass half full guy. I'm going to keep a certain sense of optimism that we will turn the ship around. There is no doubt that we're having a tough time right now. We need to figure out how to not just change the little things, but how do we get from, what seems to be the one or two key plays to changing the mindset of our team. We can win every game and then do it.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Angry about a recent Nebraska football loss? Go throw axes at Kraft Axe Throwing. Optimistic about the upcoming Nebraska football game? Go sign up for free football tickets at Kraft Axe Throwing. Bring some friends, reserve a bay for an hour or more, release anger at the targets by hucking an axe at it, and walk away feeling better about yourselves and the football season, just in time to enter for a chance to win a free pair of tickets to the next home game as you walk out the door. Reserve your lane online at craftaxethrowing.com or call 402-802-9696. Kraft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here one final time on the happy hour on a Tuesday, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Good stuff there by from Peru State head coach Bob Ludwig ahead of their exhibition tomorrow night against Nebraska. Stick around. One-on-one with DP is next. He will be joined by a special guest as well, as usual. So he'll get you guys that way through the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, and then I believe Jay Foreman's back today.
We missed him so much.
I believe he's back today from 4 to 6. He's feeling better. He's all good to go there. All right, Rico.
What?
The World Series starts tonight.
Don't care, but sure.
You can't say we don't care because
I said
do.
I don't care. I really don't.
You're not going to watch it at all.
No.
Interesting. I cannot. Okay. All right.
I love baseball, but I just don't.
Is it just because the Yankees aren't in it?
No.
Is that why?
Like I've watched the World Series every other year. This year in the playoffs I just haven't really cared.
Really?
Yeah. It might be because I was expecting more from the Yankees and they got eliminated so early. And if they would have made the DS and lost there, I probably would have still watched the playoffs, but like getting eliminated in the wild card round, wasn't going to watch any of the AL matchups because I don't care about any of them. And the National League, I guess, I like the Braves, but there's really nothing for me there. Doesn't really do it for me.
Okay, well, it's the Braves and Astros from Houston at 7:00 tonight on Fox, I believe, is where they're having it. For some reason, it's not showing up on the interwebs here. Anyway,
It's a little hard.
That's okay. It's Charlie Morton and Framber Valdez going in game 1 as well. Tomorrow,
let's go Braves.
We'll talk Husker football tomorrow. We will have our weekly conversation with Aaron Sorensen of Hale Varsity, talk about Nebraska football heading into Saturday's game against Purdue. Where's our confidence level at? They're going to have to deal with the David Bell cyclone of crazy talent that he is.
What side of the ball are they more worried about? Defense with containing David Bell or offense with stopping George Karlaftis?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
That is a Schaefer question that he was posed. I'm not going to pretend to steal it, but I am going to use it tomorrow on Aaron Sorensen.
That's interesting because, I mean, the offensive line has not looked all that great this season.
And he will be. He's not going to stick on one side unless he's completely torching one of the tackles. He's going to switch from side to side. So both Bryce Benhart and Turner Corker are going to have to deal with George Karlaftis. Whoever handles him the best, I guess.
That's a very interesting idea because, I mean, the secondary for Nebraska is taking a little bit of a beating. They'll have Deontay Williams out. So you expect Miles Farmer to kind of fill in there.
Are they going to double team David Bell, or are they going to have a safety over the top every time? Like that's the question. Is Cam Taylor-Britt going to follow him around the field? Or are you just going to put your best cover corner on their best receiver and just, make somebody else beat you?
Well, and we talked about it.
These are the questions I want answered.
And you'll get them answered tomorrow.
Maybe.
You should.
I better.
I know Eric Shenander talked to the media today, so we might have some of his bites tomorrow afternoon as well. But then also we'll kind of get you ready for Nebraska and Peru State, even though it's just an exhibition. And we've talked about it quite a bit already. That's where I wanted to spend today, especially talking about Husker basketball, because there's a lot to be excited about when it comes to this program. And rightfully so, because Fred Hoiberg and Matt Abdelmassi, Armand Gates, Luca Virgilio, Buzzy Carruthers, they've all done a lot of hard work throughout the last 28 months, like Matt was saying on that clip earlier in the first segment, to get them to a point where we're talking about the opportunity to have a bye in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, which is something that they have not had. That's a huge relief if you don't have to play an early game.
Mm-hmm. Just getting one bye. You don't have to get the double bye. You don't have to be a top 4 seed, but being a top 8 seed would be a massive improvement. And for me, my expectation, I get not my full expectations, but what I really want to see from this Nebraska basketball team is a winning record. That's if you make it to the NIT with a winning record, if you make it to the NCAA tournament with a winning record, I just want to see them win double-digit games and have more wins than they do losses and be competitive in every single game.
Well, and I'll be completely honest. If Nebraska makes it out of the Big Ten Conference in the top 8 teams, you have to feel decent about their big dance or chances. Because
it's the best basketball conference in the nation.
That's how good the Big Ten is going to be at basketball this year. We're out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Get you prepared for Nebraska and Purdue. One-on-one with DP is next. See you guys.
Adios.
You love to fish. The sight of long lines and casting for better